So what happens most of the time for me is when I'm making a beat, I like to start something and an idea, and as I'm kind of halfway through it, I like to run my signal through something. I like to put something in my master chain signal just to kind of have a guideline of where I'm going to go once I start mixing and mastering. There's different pieces of signal processors that you can use. You got the SP404 that glues everything together very nice. I love the texture that it gives my overall mix. You could go ahead and run your signal through something like the Analog Heat by Electron, which I've made plenty videos on, that just enhances the overall signal of what you're running through it. I mean, there's so many pieces you could run your signal through, but they all do have a price, especially when you're dealing with hardware. Oh, well, right here, I'm actually going to be using Air Flavor Pro, which is a plugin that you could purchase in the MPC store. I believe it's like $65 or $70, and it is worth it. I'm going to show you guys how I use it, just my preset as I'm putting a beat together, and you will be able to hear the texture and the glue that it adds to my overall mix. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and put a beat together right here in front of you, and I'll show you when I like to engage this plugin, because I do not use it at the very beginning. I like to get a rough idea, and then once I'm like 50% through my beat, I will put that plugin on, and then we'll take it from there. And now, before we jump any further, I do want to say thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. So if you have not heard of DistroKid yet, they are an awesome way to distribute your music to different streaming platforms. But the really cool thing is that not only do they distribute your music, but they also give you a lot of perks to promote your music. Now, if you're not a video editor or a videographer, you could simply create short video clips using some famous movies that they have out there, and just have your music on top of these clips with a bit of humor and promoting your music. Just simply select the clip that you want to use. I have this one right here that actually looks pretty funny. Once you select the clip that you want, go up here to load your track, select what song you want to use that you have uploaded to DistroKid. You can select the start time, and then you hit generate video. It'll take a minute or two to generate the video. Once it's ready, you simply just download your video. You could drop that into your phone. Let's actually see what we have right here.
I don't care what MTV allows. My audience gets the song of the summer if they want it. This is Coldchella, God damn it, and it is time to dance. Jimmy!
All right, so if you have not done so already, make sure you go down to the link of this video. I'll have a 7% off your first year of DistroKid. So make sure you sign up today and start uploading your music. I actually have my drum kit loaded up right here. This is a sample pack volume 3. I have all my kicks, some snares, and some hi-hats right here loaded up. At the end of this video, if you guys like the sound of these drums, you could go ahead and pick that up. I'll leave a link down in the description. So if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do so. And right here on my phone, I have this song that I want to sample. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my sampler, and I'm gonna sample in slice mode. And being in the slice mode is actually really cool and very fast, because I could just hit a pad, and there you go. It actually started sampling right there. So every time I hit a pad, it creates some chops for me. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this, and let's hit play on this record, and let's get started. All right, once I have my sample created, I'm gonna go to track number 2 where I have my sample, and I'm gonna load up that program that we just created. Yeah. All right, cool. And this is just an idea that I want to start with. I actually really enjoyed. I was just hearing this. I create playlists on my YouTube playlist where I just listen to music, and whatever I just connect with, I'll save it on a sample record collection playlist. And I like to have those stored right there, because whenever I'm running out of ideas, I go to this playlist, and there's so much inspiration that I have collected throughout the years. And see what we have. Ooh. There you go. man. Okay, that feels good. By the way, I have not. This is the first beat I make, and God, I have no idea how long. I took like 3 weeks off, which felt amazing. Like I needed that time, and right now I'm just getting back into this, and I'm already feeling it. Like it already feel very good. So it's always good to take some time off just to rest the creative side. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm feeling very, very excited to just film this video. And I'm going to go right here to the sample page. I'm going to select this, and I want to make sure I'm selecting every single one of my pads right here. And I'm going to go to tail length, and I'm going to add about 200 milliseconds. This is so cool that they added this, by the way, because what happens is I used to just go from pad to pad, and I would have these nasty little millisecond gaps, and it would just sound a little choppy. So with these this tail length, it just smoothing out the tail. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna tap this tempo. And again, right now, I'm not adding Air Flavor Pro. I just like to create an idea. I'm going to add some drums. I'm going to add the sample chops. And as soon as I start getting connected and I feel like we have the foundation, then I'm going to add Air Flavor Pro, and we'll see what it does to our overall signal. Because once I have Air Flavor Pro and I kind of hear the texture of the sound that we're going for, then I start getting even more creative, and I start getting different ideas that I wouldn't have had if I didn't put the sound in my overall mix. All right, let's make this 4 bars, and let's lay this down right here. Go ahead and keep this right here. All right, so right here I have the drums, but I'm feeling in bar 3 with the sample. Okay. In bar 3 and 4, I want to take off these 2 last notes. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to go ahead and throw in a bass line on top of this. So it's at this point right here where I'm just feeling excited right now. Like I love this, the way this is coming together, and there's no plugins, there's no mixing done right here. It's just the sounds that I'm throwing at the sequencer. So I have my one shots, my sample, and my bass. Actually, that's my 3 main elements that I use in most of my beats: sample, drums, and bass. And now that I'm feeling the connection between those 3 tracks, that's when I feel comfortable in starting to pay attention to how is this going to come together as a mix. I kind of want a vision on how it's going to sound once we're done with this. And this is where I would, if I had my SP404 next to me, I would start engaging the compressor, some type of cassette simulator, and start connecting with the sound that is giving me. Right here with my MPC, I go to my master channel right here where you see this little crown, and on my inserts, anything I put in this signal chain right here is going to affect the entire master signal that I have going on in this sequence right here. So I have my own preset. At the end of this video, if you guys want to download this preset, go down to the link of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and give this preset to you guys. Go ahead and download it. If you guys want to donate $1, $2, feel free to do so. If you guys just want to download it, just download it for yourselves. you could load this up into your SD card, put it into your MPC One, MPC Live, or any of your newer MPCs, and just go into this little icon where you see this avatar, and it's going to search for some preset that you have, whether it is in your SD card. Mine, I have it on my internal SSD drive, and then I go to my plugin presets, and I have it right here. It's called Cassette Simulator. The reason why I named it Cassette Simulator, because when I created this preset with Air Flavor Pro, I was trying to emulate the cassette simulator from my SP404. But at the end of the day, I ended up liking how this one sounds better. So I'm going to go ahead and just double tap that right there, hit load. And now it loaded two plugins. The two plugins that we're going to see, if I engage the first one, we're going to see Air Flavor Pro. It is engaged. And then after that, I have an Air EQ following that. The reason why I had Air EQ is because I kind of felt like it needed a little more of a punch after I did my tweaks with Air Flavor Pro, and it just glued everything together. Now, real quick, before I go any further, I do want to remind you guys, if you are in the sample sharing program in my YouTube channel, if you become a member of this channel, you guys could download the sample chop program. These whole entire chops that I'm doing right here, I'm going to shoot these out to you. If you're part of the subscribe to this channel, you guys can follow along with me if you guys want to. If not, it's totally fine. But don't forget to look at the community tab. I'll have these out to you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a bar or two bars without this master chain preset, and then I'm going to engage it so you could hear the difference that we're going to get with the signal chain that we have right here. It's going to be pretty obvious, but do not worry. Once you engage this into your track that you're working on, the whole point is going into Air Flavor Pro, which we will do in a moment right now, and tweak it up a little bit and just dial down some of these settings. If it's a little too much, you guys can go ahead and tweak it up to your liking. So it's a big difference, and I love the sound that I get. Every beat is going to be different. The way the sound comes together, it almost sounds like it compresses it, or it just puts it together and it sounds like one finished track. Like, it almost sounds done to me. There's minor tweaks that I'm going to do to it. If you notice, if I hit play, it's a little too much vinyl noise that I have, which you could go into the preset and start just tweaking it up to your liking. We could lower down the vinyl setting, click that. That sounds good right there. That right there sounds good for this beat. Again, there's other tracks that I want to kind of raise up the vinyl sound, and there's some that I want to lower it down a bit. And now this plugin is pretty in depth. Like, there's so much you can do right here. On the high pass and low pass filter, I got a high pass filter at about 58 hertz and a low pass filter at about 11,659 kilohertz, and I'm just kind of shaving off some of the top, and it's kind of gluing everything together. I have the pitch right here. This pitch, I mean, it does say pitch, but you can go in here and notice that it's a lot more than just pitch. If we hit play, I'm gonna do it pretty drastic. It's kind of like a vinyl record, like if it's all jacked up, but I like to have that already. I did all these settings over here, so all you have to do is just go to the pitch and lower it down or bring it up if you want to add that vinyl texture. And now if we go into digital, this is actually really cool. It kind of gives it, I don't want to say like an older machine or an older sampler, but it adds something to your overall signal. Now, again, this might work for some beats that you want to add this sound to it. Let's actually listen to this first. That's without it. Or maybe we just do not want to turn that on at all. It's right there. The option is right there. I had it selected to the MPC 60 right there, which sounded pretty cool sometimes, but most of the time I'm just going to leave it off. You got your vinyl right here. This was the sound that we kind of add some noise to our overall signal. How much crackle do you want? We could add a lot. How much clicks? It even has the noise, the rumble. This is actually a very good plugin. I've done other plugins in my DAW that are like vinyl simulators, and they just are kind of like a joke to me. I'm like, yeah, this does not sound like a record player. This one does very good. I'm actually very impressed on how this came together. The pops, the clicks, the crackle, the rumble, the noise, the hum. Sometimes I do get that with some records, and it just kind of gives me the sound that I will hear and when I'm sampling through vinyl. So you don't have to use this on your mastered chain. You could simply sample something from YouTube. You could sample something from iTunes on your phone. And if it sounds too clean and too transparent, you can grab that sample chop program and run Air Flavor Pro through that sample by itself. And it's going to add that texture that it makes it seem like we sampled from vinyl. So this is really cool for those of you that do not have a record player. And by the way, if you do not have a record player, pick one up. Like, just save up. Just get yourself a record player. Like, they are worth it, and you got to be sampling from vinyl if you have not done so yet. But if you don't, I understand. This is an awesome plugin to start adding certain textures to your samples. And then on timbre, this is actually one of my favorites. You got different presets right here. You could even dial it down if you like the texture of that. The way I like to mess with these presets is I'll crank this up all the way at 100%, and being at 100%, I'll bang through some of these sounds right here. That actually sounds pretty good. I know it sounds very thin, but if I like the sound that it's giving me, I'll just dial it back down and find a sweet spot. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. But there's so much within this plugin. Have fun, experiment with it. Again, download it. I'm gonna give you my preset. You guys can go in there and start tweaking it up, do it your own, and just mess with the intensity of it, the width of it. This is just crazy. The width of how the stereo width of the whole entire plugin. This is powerful. This is why I like this on my master plugin, because it gives me everything that I kind of want to give it a quick master. I got my high pass, my low pass, my stereo width. It opens up my mix very nice. And the pitch, distortion, everything that I need for the style of music that I'm creating, I have it right here within one plugin. After that, I have this Air EQ. This Air EQ is just so soft, very gentle. I just felt like it was missing a little bit of low end. So when I bring in this Air EQ, you guys can actually listen to what I'm doing with this. I'm just adding some air in the very high frequencies and just adding some lows in the, like, the subby frequencies of 60 hertz, 80 hertz. And it's just kind of bringing back some of the punch and some of the air that I lost when I was going through Air Flavor Pro. So these two plugins alone, I know they do take up 2 plugins, so you're going to have to sacrifice 2 of your plugins. So if that's something that you're willing to go for, then go ahead and do it. For me, this is more than enough to give it a quick master. At the end, I can can probably add a limiter and just kind of wrap it up and export this and call it a day. Now, with all this being said, Akai does have plenty plugins. A lot of their plugins, like their EQs or compressors, for me personally, they're not the best sounding. I'm not like, whoa, this is the amazing compressor. Now, I do use a compressor that they have for us, but it's not something that I would tell you like, man, this is the best compressor I've ever used. Especially the EQs, they get the job done. They're not the best EQs that I've ever used. I'll use them every now and then, but when it comes down to this Air Flavor Pro, this is awesome. This is that one plugin that I would rock with even if I had it in my DAW, like in at Ableton. I'd be using it for something else. This is the plugin that my favorite plugin that they've put out. All the other plugins, I do use them just when I need that tool. Now, on a side note, I feel great. I feel happy. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm thankful to be standing right here. Actually, I'm wrapping up this video right now, but I feel good. I feel so good to be able to do what I'm doing right here and just hang out with you guys and nerd out with a group of people. Before I started my YouTube channel, I didn't do this with anybody. I just was like in my own man cave creating beats, and I had nobody to talk to about this. So it's been very fun, and I'm grateful that you guys get to hang out with me, and thank you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the link down in the description to pick this preset up. Go ahead and donate $1, get it for free. I don't really care. You download it and just enjoy it. Hopefully this is good for you guys. So thank you so much. I'll catch you guys on our next video. Peace. And now, before we jump any further, I do want to say thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring this video.